Every marriage has 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the bicker ring. We're here to settle the fights that don't matter and have no winner. It's the 3 Rings Podcast with another new argument.
Week number 3.
Week number 3. We are still married.
We are still married.
It's another week. Can you believe that we have this many things to argue about?
I can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess I can too.
Yep. Week 3, welcome to the 3 Rings Podcast. My name is Phil, over there giggling.
I'm Lauren.
That's right. We are married, still married, believe
I
it or
am his
not.
wife, and he is my husband.
That's
how
correct.
That's how married we are.
I don't think anyone was arguing the amount of married we were.
We're very married. So married.
Shit, okay. All right.
We're the most married that you can be.
All right. Well, we're going to be a little less married after fighting again this week. As it seems to be the case with every week. I'm going to find something to make you mad.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that.
Yep, I'm very good at that.
You're my favorite person in the entire world, and boy, do you know how to push my buttons.
That's right, I do. And I'm going to push some buttons this week, too. This week we're going to be talking about something that is very important to both of us because it is partially work-related for myself. And
it's just an important thing in our marriage. It's been kind of the guiding thing in our lives.
It
It's
has been.
music.
Yeah, music related. We're going to be talking about the best spot to stand at a concert.
Yeah, and if you're like a concert goer, an avid concert goer, then you have some pretty big opinions about this.
Yeah.
You've got some steadfast beliefs about where the best place to stand is. But before we get into that, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at 3 Rings Pod. That's THREE, not the number 3, spelled out 3 Rings Pod. And share with us what you guys are bickering about this week.
Yeah, because we're here to settle any and all arguments. Actually, no, not all.
Send us fun stuff. We've gotten a few responses that have been a little odd.
Yeah, like things like that I don't really want to get involved with. It seems more like a personal thing as opposed to a...
We're not divorce attorneys.
No.
Or marriage counselors.
No.
You need to talk to a professional about those things. But things like...
like the things that we've already discussed on the show. Like
how many times a week it's appropriate to order pizza. That's not something that we have discussed, but it's something that we will.
We will.
At what point to set, or at what temperature to set the thermostat?
Yep, we talked about that last week.
We talked about that. The best Disney song?
I pissed you off a lot last week.
I'm still not quite over it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You can chime in on past episodes as well. You can go and listen to those if you haven't listened already, and you can let us know who you think has won those arguments, because I would like to know. I'd like to know if I won, and if you didn't think that I won, then just don't respond.
Yeah. Again, that's at 3 Rings Pod on all social media accounts.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that'll get us started on this week's topic. And you went first last week?
I did, yes.
All right, so I'll go first. So in the debate of where to stand for a concert, I'm of the position that you should stand directly behind the soundboard. And I'll tell you my reasons why. My 3 points. It is mathematically determined that that spot has the best sound in the venue.
Okay.
Pretty important.
All right.
Number 2, you'll most likely have an unobstructed view because the guys running sound, they have to be able to see what's going on stage. Number 3, easy access and easy to leave.
The easy to leave part is pretty important.
Yep.
I will
Very
give you
appealing.
that. I will give you that. But my position is that the best place to stand is in the crowd. Because if you want the best sonic quality, listen to the recording. If you want the best experience, get in there with the crowd. I would also argue that there are some benefits to the sound quality by standing in the center of the crowd with the way that venues are set up. So I will argue that point. And I mean, it just depends on your priority as a concert goer. If you want, like I said, if you want to like have an experience and get close to the artist, and the crowd is where it's at. It's all what you're going for.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
As somebody who has been to hundreds of shows, I'm very much going to concerts to enjoy the live aspect of the band and the performance. If I want to go and hang out with friends, I'll go and hang out with friends. I don't need to buy a concert ticket to do that.
Okay, I have a question for you. It's kind of an aside.
Okay.
What is the best concert you've ever been to?
Best concert I've ever been to was in Los Angeles, seeing Linkin Park for the Chester Bennington benefit
That
show.
was a good one.
It was.
It was very sad.
It was.
I'm
cried
not
3
a
times.
huge Linkin Park fan, but I cried the whole time too.
Yep.
It was just very moving.
Yeah, that is easily the best concert that I've ever been to. What about you?
Oh, there's so many. We've had kind of an interesting history with concerts between the two of us. They've been kind of every important moment in our relationship can be tied back to a song or a concert.
Yeah, we are music people.
We are very much music people. Like the first time that Phil said I love you to me was after an Under Oath concert.
Yeah.
It's
fucking band.
Romantic. Yeah, that band. It was at their farewell tour, which ended up not being a farewell at all.
It never is. If any band ever says they're doing a farewell tour,
don't believe them.
fuck off.
Don't
They're going to
believe
be back
them.
in 5
With
years.
the exception of Anberlin.
No, they came back and played shows.
2, but not.
They still did.
We're from Detroit. We've mentioned that
Yeah.
before. We had the unfortunate incident of parking our car one night before a concert at a brewery where we were stopping to get a drink with some friends, and our car got broken into. And they stole Phil's backpack,
Yep.
which had tickets to the Anberlin farewell show in them. They
Yep.
took our tickets. We were not, amongst other much more important
Yeah,
things.
much more important things
but
like a laptop and travel documents.
Yeah, a lot of
or
Phil's personal information.
Yeah.
Phil's social security number, floating around on the dark web, probably isn't great either. But we
No.
didn't get to go to that concert, and they have not played. Oh no, they did play in Detroit.
They
after
did.
that. You're right.
Yes,
they haven't
did.
played anywhere where we've been close to.
No. But, again, getting off topic, the whole farewell tour shit.
Oh,
is
I didn't answer
garbage.
my best concert.
No, you didn't.
Andrew Bird is my most favorite artist, and I went to a show where Phil allowed me to meet Andrew Bird after his set. He was opening for the
I allowed
Lumineers. Yeah, Phil pulled.
arranged
He arranged
for it,
it. Yes,
not allowed.
Phil didn't give permission.
Be like, can I go meet him? No.
Sit
Stay
back
here.
down. Sit down.
Sit down behind the soundboard.
Just on the floor
That's right.
where you belong. Yeah, he arranged a meeting with him.
Yes.
And I think that's been the best one for me.
Okay.
I walked down the aisle to an Andrew Bird song.
You did.
Yes, so obviously pretty important.
A little bit.
Yeah, so good. So good.
Just going down memory lane.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll come back in a bit.
Okay.
If you want to start making your points while I'm reminiscing.
You're daydreaming over there about your favorite concerts. I will get back to the topic at hand and say, again, the best spot to stand at a concert is right behind the soundboard. And point number 1, mathematically determined. So when venues are built, they have to figure out the best acoustics for the space. And that means with what the floor is made of, what the walls are made of, how they're going to arrange things on the wall, where they're going to set the stage in the room. But it is mathematically proven that the soundboard is placed where it is the best sound in the room. And the reason it's done that way is because when they're mixing the show, they need to be able to hear everything, and they need to be able to hear it very clearly. So as they're mixing and making everything sound perfect for everybody in the audience, where they're standing is the best sound in the entire
room. I found an
room.
article that argues against this, but we'll get to that when I'm giving my points. So continue on.
Every single venue goes through this. And the ones that don't are the ones where you walk out and it's like, oh, it didn't sound very good. That's usually the case.
What's point number 2?
Point number 2, 99% of the time, you're going to have an unobstructed view. Because, once again, where the soundboard is, they need to be able to see the stage. They need to be able to see the band on
they're always
stage.
on a little riser. They're always
Not always.
up.
Not always.
I don't know. Most of the time, it seems like they are elevated in some way. And as a girl who is 5'4", I'm average height for a woman, running on the shorter side.
Yeah.
But your view is always obstructed. It literally does not matter where you stand.
But you're going to have a better chance of having an unobstructed view.
Why do
when
guys
you're
do
by-
that? Why do tall dudes do that at concerts where
Because
they just
they suck.
step right in front of you?
Because they suck.
Like, don't you realize that you're tall?
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be some, like, concert etiquette where you are, like, let the short girl stand in front of you? We have a friend who is, how tall is Ashley? 4'11"?
I think so.
God
She's
bless.
short.
Yeah, she's very short. And people, like, just step right in front of her at shows.
Yeah.
You could stand behind her, though, and still have a completely unobstructed view. Are you really gaining anything by being 1 foot forward from where you would be if you were standing behind her?
No, which is
It going to make,
perfectly
like,
into my
Dave Grohl
conversation.
love you if you're 1 foot closer to the stage?
Yeah, it's not going to change your life if you get to, give Dave Grohl a high five.
No, put the short ladies in front of you, fellas. There's no
That's just-
downside. You will be able
for
to
me,
see.
that's fine, but-
You will be able to see right over us. I promise.
Yeah, but again, like if you're standing right behind the soundboard, most people aren't going to be in your way. And the only people that might be in your way are the guys that are running sound. And you can easily just step to the side and look past them. So we're already at the mathematically proven best sound in the venue. You have, most of the time, an unobstructed view of the stage, which also means you're in a spot where you have easy access and it's easy to leave. And I say that because the sound engineers that are running sound, they have to be able to get in and out. They have to be able to get to the stage if there's a problem. They have to be able to move around. So there's usually a lot of space, or they will make space. They will tell you to get out of the way if you're standing in their way. So it's
I
easy.
do love an easy exit.
It's very easy to get to. It's very easy to leave as well. So if you want to get to the bar and get a drink, you can do that. If you need to go to the bathroom, you don't have to fight through a whole crowd because you're standing up front to go to the bathroom. And most of the time, if you do that, your spot is now gone, unless you have to fight your way all the way back.
I mean, it's always a fight getting
And
into
it's-
into
and
the
it's
crowd, but
always
that's
difficult
part
to
of the
get
experience.
further up. And also, when you're trying to leave, everybody knows how bad traffic can be when you're trying to leave a concert. So if you're stuck in the masses when the show's over, you're going to
never
be stuck in traffic.
completely stuck in the masses. I mean, as we've discussed,
Not completely, but it's
people
going to be
will do a
tougher.
lot to get like 1 foot closer. So that if you want to get out, people are more than willing to let you get out because it's just one less body. That means they're one step closer to giving,
I don't have to
the
fight
guys
my
from
way out.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers like a thumbs up or whatever it is that anybody's trying to do.
I don't have to fight my way out. I also don't have to, tap my friends and be like, we're going to get out. We're going to go. No, I can just leave.
What friends are you going to concerts with?
I don't have any friends.
I'm your friend.
Yeah, I go with you. And where do we normally stand?
We stand by the sound,
Yeah.
but that's because I've acquiesced.
To it being the best spot to stand?
No.
Yes, I know.
So, okay. So those are all good points. I do love an easy exit.
Yep.
I do love access to a bathroom. I drink a lot of water, so, that's important.
Yeah.
But I would argue that, like I said, if you want the best sonic quality, if you want the best sound, you listen to a recording. If you want the best experience, you get in the crowd. That's where, like, the action is. That's where you feel like, the most a part of things is when you're in the crowd and you're standing with all those other like sweaty bodies and you're
Gross.
all singing the songs together and like dancing together. It's just like a wonderful human experience. So like I think, like standing by the soundboard might be great in a lot of ways. You're just not gonna have that concert experience if you aren't in the crowd.
Are you going to have a good time if you can't understand a single thing that they're saying?
You will, because you know what they're saying. You're singing along. You're like singing the songs with them. You're a part of it. Like that's
If you can't hear anything over the bass and the guitar because you're standing right next to a speaker.
okay.
doesn't
Well,
really
so
matter.
I found an article in Lifehacker. This is my second point.
Okay.
So Dave Swallow, a UK-based, moving right along, a UK-based live audio engineer who's mixed for touring artists like LaRue, Corinne Bailey Ray, and the late Amy Winehouse, may she rest in peace, said the best place to stand is in the middle of the crowd and off-center. So find a space just off-center in the venue. And according to Swallow, generally the best place to stand in a large-size venue is in the middle of the crowd and just off-center. So why is that? He said that standing equidistant from both speakers allows for more bass, which doesn't always lend to picking up the best sound quality, he said. If you're at a musical festival, say like Coachella, a good marker is anywhere in front of the soundboard where you might find the engineer at work.
Excuse me? What?
So you'll be at the center of the venue, though. He's saying, like, at festivals, the soundboard is in the center. At most concert venues, the soundboard is in the back. But he's saying if you find a place in the center of the crowd and just off to the side a little bit.
For music festivals, yeah, you still have to be close enough where you can hear it. But the further back you get at a music festival, it's going to be diluted. So
Dave Swallow said that standing in the back, though, makes the sound more shallow. It makes it sound
at a festival,
thinner.
yeah. When you're outside, when the sound waves have infinite space to go, but when you're in an actual building in a venue, the sound doesn't have very far to travel. So yes, most of the soundboards are going to be set further back, but in most cases, they're not all the way back. Think about most of the venues that we've gone to, at least lately, when you think about it. When we were at Paris Town Hall, there was still
which is a beautiful venue, by the way.
There was a ton of space behind the soundboard where we were set up and where there was a bar. When you were at Mercury Ballroom, there's still a lot of space behind the soundboard. You go back and think about the venues in Detroit that we were always at, with Royal Oak, with the Fillmore. Not all the way to the back. There was usually a bar and a lot of space behind, as well as the upper levels. So they're not all the way in the back.
They're pretty far in the back.
They're pretty far back. They're out of the range of the floor where all the people are huddling up and in the masses, but they're not all the way in the back.
So my third point, again, kind of ties into my first. But, a lot of music fans are going to shows for, like, a sense of community. If you want to find other people who love that artist as much as you do, get into the crowd. That's where you're going to find, like, the true die-hard fans.
If that's the experience that you're looking for, yes. But
yeah, I think it all depends on... I think that this is, like, one where we can agree to disagree. Like, this one is even more, I think, person by person than the other two arguments that we've had on here. Because this one is like, what are you going to the concert for?
Yeah, because, I mean, especially in my case, a lot of the times I'm there...
because a label sent you.
Yeah.
And you're listening.
For work reasons. And I want to see how the band does on stage, how they control the crowd, how they sound.
Yeah.
Whether there's going to be some type of longevity to this band other than a song that's been, like, super overproduced. Plenty of bands have great songs, and then you see them perform it live, and it's like,
what?
They are not good at playing their instruments. And
they just have no energy, or
and it really just kind of kills the entire mood. So from my perspective, I'm always there to see how it sounds and how the band does.
I'm just going for the love of the music and to have a good time.
You're
there for the love of the music too.
I love the music,
but
and
that's like your whole job.
I usually have a good time. Yeah, depending on who we see, depends on whether I have a good time or not. But that's usually my reason for it. So that's why I want to be where I am, because I want to know if, the drummer and the bassist are actually, synced up with one another. I want to know if the guitarist is fucking up. I want to be able to hear the singer and whether he's actually hitting high notes or he's just out there just flat and mumbling through things.
Or having the crowd sing.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
It's like one of
Jared
your biggest
Leto.
pet peeves.
Jared Leto has
I wasn't
going to
name any names,
no,
but...
if you've ever been to a 30 Seconds to Mars show, the crowd sings half
most
the songs.
of the songs, yeah. So much.
But
I mean, it's still a great show.
Part of it. He can still sing. He's still a good singer. But
he's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I want to go to 30 Seconds to Mars shows to hear Jared Leto sing, not to hear...
Yeah, I could give a shit about the people singing around me.
Yeah.
But again, that plays into the whole thing, like with your point about the community. Like, I'm not there for the community. Some of the shows I go and it's like, yeah, that everybody loves them, but that's for every concert that you go to. You're there because most people like the artists that you're there to see. So,
but just I don't know.
Never in my life have I gone to a show just to be like, oh, well, I know that the fans of this band are really cool and I want to meet some cool people.
Oh, I
Like,
definitely have.
I've never done that. I will never go to a show because I think that the fans are going to be fun to be with.
Oh,
I go
for
to the show
sure.
to see the band.
Gaslight Anthem, I started out kind of getting into them because my friend Crystal was super into them. She and I have been like concert going buddies since forever ago. I think 10 years ago we started going to shows together. And I was like kind of into them. I liked them. But then going to their shows, their fans were so fun that like pushed me over the edge. I loved Gaslight Anthem after that because the fans were just so fun and it was just such a fun experience. I think it just adds to it.
I think that's more of a genre thing. Like, people went to punk rock shows because like that was a lifestyle and that's what they wanted to discover those new bands. Like, and I think that's a little bit different
Or,
when
like-
you're just going to shows to go to shows.
So Phil's dad is hilarious.
Yes.
Hi, Papa John. We were at, where were we? Was it in Philly or was it in New Jersey?
Technically, we were in Jersey.
Okay, so we were in New Jersey,
It was,
and I
yeah,
looked at
it's
Phil's.
right across the river, so it's,
Yeah.
it's really Philly, but it's
Yeah.
technically Camden.
Yeah. So we went to go see Foo Fighters, and I looked at Phil's dad, and I kind of jokingly said, "So we're gonna push to the front, right?" Like, we were standing in the pit, and I was like, "So we're gonna get front row, right?" And Phil's dad looked at me and was like, "Yes," and was like dead serious. So we
Yeah.
pushed our way to the front. It was an absolute blast. I mean, we had seen Foo Fighters how many times before that?
I'd seen them 3 times.
It was
before
just like
that.
a completely different experience. It was so fun. Your dad and I had a ball.
I was protecting my mom in the back of the pit. So shorter than you.
Yeah, she is.
Little 5'0"
She's
nothing
also
Margaret.
yeah. So she's a pistol though. She's a 5-foot
Oh
pistol.
yeah, she could have kicked anyone's ass.
Oh
in there,
yeah,
but
she did not.
didn't
Just
need
to
that.
make it sound like she needed you is not quite the case.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
I didn't want it to reach that point.
No, but your dad and I had an absolute like ball. It was one of the best concert going experiences I've ever had. And it was just like it just added to it. It was so fun, and like being in there with everybody was just so fun. I don't know, different strokes. Tell us where you like to stand at concerts.
Yeah, find
Tell
us
us-
on all of the various social media sites.
At 3 Rings Pod, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All of them.
All of them.
So yeah,
Except for TikTok. We're too old for that.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't understand it. I had a radio friend, Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
He's sweet.
I'll trade Pokemon with you when I see you in Oregon. But he uses TikTok, and I tweeted back at him the meme of, from 30 Rock.
Yeah, hello, fellow young people.
Yeah, like, how do you do, fellow young people? Like, like I don't understand it. I don't get the appeal, but kids are all about it.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it, and I don't fully understand
Maybe
it.
Gabe
nor
will
will I
teach us how to use it if we want.
I don't want to.
So we're not on TikTok now, but maybe we will be later.
No, we won't.
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 3 Rings Pod. That's THREE spelled out. And tell us about your favorite concert going experience. Tell us where you like to stand. Tell us what you guys are bickering about now. It can be bickers between your significant other and you, or a sibling. We'll
anything.
solve them all. We'll solve them all.
We'll solve most of them. If you get a little too deep and a little
Yeah,
too
again,
personal,
we are not marital counselors.
yeah, I'm not about to.
You need to talk
solve
to
your
a
life for you.
professional.
Yeah,
But we'll sympathize. We'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
yeah, we'll happily discuss things that are just dumb and entertaining.
Yeah, but I think we have to agree to disagree on this one, and I think that's how this week is going to end.
I think so, but we'll see what the fine folks over at social media think, and they will tell us who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to being right, as I am every week.
Have a great week, everyone. Thank you for listening.
We'll talk to you next week with another pointless, non-winning argument.
Bye.